After I've had my tidy up, I'm back with part 2 of playing with my new goodies. So this time it's the Tim Holtz, I think this is definitely set 2 of his Distress crayons. So I just thought I'd have a little play with these. These are my fave ones at the moment. I like them all at the moment, I think, but these are my fave. So I thought I'd do one of each colour on my flowers that I showed in part 1, just embossed with one of my embossing folders, which was a magazine one. And I'm using the Centura Pearl Ivory card from Crafter's Companion, but I got mine from Craft Obsessions. So I thought I'd do one of each colour, and then I'll do one mixed blending with some baby whites, because I've shown that before. This is Festive Berries, and I love it, just love this colour. So I'm just going to basically be smudging them just so you can see the colours, because even though I know they've been out for a little while, a bit like me, not everybody can get stuff as soon as it comes out. So it's nice to see, I think it's nice to see the different sets. So I do like seeing people make stuff with their new items. Or I don't know I haven't seen or do like play videos like this where you just get stuff out to see what it's like. But I always get in a real mess with it, even if I use kitchen rolling stuff. So the reason I'm doing this in 2 parts was I realised the first part was getting quite long already, and I didn't want to be people sitting there for one long video. I mean, because I'm quite lucky now, because I've got unlimited broadband, so I can watch as much YouTube videos as I want without worrying too much. So now I'm on the fossilised amber, but I know some people have limited, so if I know a video is going to be long, I'm going to try and get in the habit of, try and get in the habit of doing it in parts, so people can not go over their limit, or they might just think, oh, it's not, the video wasn't quite what I was thinking anyway, so I won't bother watching part 2. But like I said in part 1, I do find it really hard to think of different videos to do. So it's I don't want to be boring people doing the same thing, so it's just trying to think of something to keep different each time. So that was the fossilised amber, and I'm sure these names are the same as what's in there, so that gives a nice mustardy sort of colour. Not a colour I would normally go for, but I quite like it. I do like how easy these are to blend. I know people have done comparisons like with Gillettos and Gillettos, I'm not sure how you say it. And now I'm on the Rusty Hinge, but I'm really liking them. I don't use them, say, on every single project, because they're not, for me, they're not the cheapest of items to buy. Like each pack's 10 something. I think it's 10.99. So say £11 a pack. And you can't buy, at the moment, I don't think you can buy them individually. So if you ran out of a colour, you'd have to buy the whole pack. That's the only downside for me. And then that's the Rusty Hinge, so it gives a nice... I really like these for like autumn colours, and I hope to eventually get the Stampin' Up! Lovely as a Tree. I did have it as a wooden block, but when I had my clear out, I got rid of it because I was finding the wooden block a bit too much for me. I'm just going to turn that over, so I'm not, mind you, I think all my papers are getting quite painty and stuff. So yes, so that's the only downside for me on that you can't buy the pens individually. I'm sure he will in time, but I just love them, so it's something I do like for making. I just got it here. You've seen me make these quite a few times with different ones. I do like to use them for these flowers that I make for my own use. I did sell some a while back on eBay. I had a mixture of flowers that I'd brought, or I'm not so keen on this green, but I'm not a big green person anyway, so that's maybe why. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I like to make these distressed flowers for my own use, and I have sold some on eBay, like I did there was some that I only like had one of one flower, and I knew I wouldn't get round to using it on something. And then there were some flowers I made myself, and I sold them on eBay. So every now and then I do use them myself, and I will have a sort out of that drawer. So if it's getting, oh no, I really don't like that green, it's like shitty green, sorry, it's like poo green. So I'm sure if I blended it with something else it'd be alright, but on its own I'm not overly loving that green. I'm sorry I said the S word, S-H-I-T, and poo, sorry about that. Oh dear. And then somebody commented on one of my videos that they laughed that I said the word, what did I say? Knob, that was it. I said, talking about somebody I know, and I called them a knob. So I do apologise for that. So I do apologise if I say words I shouldn't say, so I am sorry. So I'm just trying to not make a mess on the back of these flowers. So and the last flower I would do is a mixture with the other colour. But I do, yeah, I'm loving these. I think I'm driving some of my friends nuts because I just absolutely love them, sort of thing. I was talking about the gilding waxes earlier on. Yeah, a couple of my friends have had trouble with that, so I'm going to keep an eye on mine, because I'm not sure now if I want to buy any more or not. You know, I'm not sure on that. And I was also saying it is difficult to think of different videos to do, so I do try and think, oh, could I do something a bit different this week? And I thought a play video with my new stuff, because like I was saying, I like to see people, it's nice to see people show their new goodies in a whole video, but then I think it's nice to see what they make with it, what they do, how they play with it. So that's what I thought I would do this time. And the amount of kitchen roll and baby wipes I go through with my crafting, that's why I buy it in job lots. So this flower I'm going to use all the colours and a baby wipe, I think, to play with. I don't know if I said what that purple was. So the purple was Seedless Preserve, and I love that. Love it. This is Chip Sapphire, and as I'm a bluey girl, I like it anyway. Yeah, a lot of my talking of fave colours, so I was putting my washing away, and I realised just how much I've got so much teal clothing. I just can't. I go into a shop with blues. Oh, I was going to do this multicoloured, wasn't I? This one. Never mind, I'll get another piece of card and do a multicoloured one. I will say they are working really nicely on the Centura Pearl card. They are blending really nicely on it, and they go a little bit lighter because I suppose it's got the sheen on it. But I am just loving it. Sorry about my bumps and bruises on my arm. It's all these falls I keep having, but I absolutely love it. It's just so nice. Oh, excuse me. They are really, because then it gives the distressing a sheen. It's lovely, 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 lovely. Have I said lovely enough now? So I'm just spreading it out, because these are like what I use as my drop sheets, as you can see, which I've said about before, and then they go into my junk journals. So I'm just going to find a piece of card to do that multicoloured thing I was on about, and I'm just going I'm going to have to rummage and get my bits and bob box. So I've got like scrap bits of card I keep from packaging that I use to make flowers. So let's just grab a baby wipe, and from the looks of it I'm going to have a good wash on my hands, but I don't mind getting messy. So I'm hoping you're liking the videos I'm trying to do. I hope they're not being too repetitive. If they are, I'm sorry, and like I said, it really helps with feedback and stuff like that to let me know what you think. Or I don't know if I'd be very good at a tutorial. I don't think I speak well enough for that, but I don't mind doing these play videos. So I'm just going to use one of each colour and do a multicoloured background, and then I'll use it in some other project later on because it'll go back in my bit box. I love my bit box. So bits and bob box. Let me know what you call your things. You know, if you've got a bits and bob box, and you know, sort of thing. And I have a mixture of craft stuff, which I've probably said before, because I like mixed media. I like paper, you know, just ordinary card making, but I love doing this sort of stuff where there's no real plan to it, but it's just nice just to have a good play and make some bits up to use on other projects. I do find I get quite mucky with these pens round the top. Maybe it's the way I use them. So yeah, so I'm not going to worry about how I'm rubbing this. I am finding with this card, because it's got a texture on it, I'm going to have to rub quite hard to blend the colours. But I do like the way Tim Holtz thinks of how all his colours go together. He's really clever at doing that. I'm fairly good with knowing what colours go together, and I think that's because I worked in retail for so long. And I did a course in what colours would suit people's skin tones. I got like a level 1 in it. They did, Debenhams did like an MVQ sort of level thing on it. So yeah, I got level 1 in that. I could have carried on further, but then my heart problem was really, really bad back then, sort of thing. So I then couldn't work in that sort of thing. So now I'm just going to blend it all to give like a watercoloured effect. I probably, if I was doing this on like a set project, I would choose my colours a bit more carefully, because obviously that's just gone into a big, yeah, don't do that unless you want a muddy effect. Yeah, so that hasn't turned out quite how I was hoping. So I'd probably use certain colours together and blend them with a baby white, because otherwise you just end up with that. But never mind, it was fun to try, and it won't go to waste. That's not too bad. You can see the colours are underneath. So I'll probably turn that into a tag or something to go in one of my junk books. So I think that's pretty much all the playing I'm going to do. I will do a part 3 of the finished items that I'm playing with. So I would do that in a separate video. So yeah, I'm hoping you're enjoying my playing and me just having a good old chat to you all. So take care. I'll be back with part 3 somewhere. Bye.